Good morning, party people. Man, it is time for me to get back to work. It's hard to believe it's been almost 2.5 months since I left Las Vegas. So, Monday, I am getting on the plane. Monday night, I will get into Las Vegas late Monday night. And if you were already in my schedule, to have some stuff taken care of on your vehicle or us to connect for some reason, I am looking forward to connecting with you and getting that stuff done. Man, I am a couple months behind the schedule. I was already a couple months behind. So, looking forward to that. A couple people that I realized that I hadn't even finalized my visit with. I need to do that. And started my grieving counseling organization. If you guys know somebody lost someone, need to get that stuff processed. Losing a loved one is a major emotional hit in your life, usually on a bad way. This organization here has group counseling all across the country. As far as I know, they may have group counseling around the world. Not sure about that, but I have started mine. I don't plan on missing too many of those sessions. Went through the first one last week. I go to the second one this weekend, and they are each Sunday. I think they're 12 weeks. I might miss a couple, but I am going to do my best to keep going through my workbook. They have a workbook here, watching the sessions that I'm not in Cincinnati area for online, and just getting that thing done. We as humans, there's a few things that we do in life that we take a big hit emotionally, and sometimes it takes years and years to process and become healthy emotionally because of it. I think I mentioned in a previous video that, I don't want to be drifting around trying to help people and on edge, just anything will set you off, man. I met people that, man, they take hits on relationship deteriorations just as much as people losing a loved one, like going through divorce, losing a good job, having to move away from family. These are things that people probably need professional counseling for. So anyway, that's that. Decided to drive Queen Bee around these last few days. Old cars are not meant to be sitting. When I left here, Queen Bee was in, I thought pretty good shape. Get back here, start driving that car around, the list of things that need to be done to Queen Bee is so long that it's unreal. Now, a while back, further than a year ago, I had made arrangements to get Queen Bee in somebody else's hands because it just wasn't driving it enough. And, I'm a wagon guy. Queen Bee's a sedan. So, this last couple of days, I've been, trying to get stuff taken care of so that person can come get Queen Bee, not have any issues with the car. So that's going on. Was trying to get to Chicago. Supposed to go to Chicago for a day or two last week. Didn't make it. Stopped to help Dan the man with a steering rack on his vehicle. That job got tough. Set me back a day and a half. Didn't make it to Chicago. So I thought, I'll just go to Chicago next week. Start driving Queen Bee. No Chicago for me. And probably not going to make it. So when I get back here, I'll try to dash to Chicago, take care of a few things before I go out further east. There's people out in New York and Pennsylvania been waiting on me a year now. Virginia, stuff like that. So that's where I'm at with working and traveling. Now, there's a couple things I want to remind you guys of the YouTube channel functions, and it hadn't gotten any better. One, it is hard for me to do an additional reply to messages that people leave me on YouTube. So if you leave a comment, usually in the form of a question, and I reply to that, and then you reply to that, I normally don't know that you've ever replied again. So you need to make a fresh question or comment, or send me a message direct. Call, text, best way to get a hold of me. Some people are leaving messages and all those are kind of portals, and man, I don't even find those things for weeks at a time. The ones that are not real good, email, Facebook, Instagram, all these other things are not really that good of a way to get a hold to me. So that's that. Now, I want to remind you guys on YouTube, sometimes I talk slower. It's easier for people that have English as a second language to understand me if I talk at a slower rate of speed. So if you're watching YouTube, man, I do this all the time. I do it with my videos. I do it with other people's videos. If they're just talking, I usually speed that video up. You can find the settings, little gear, wherever it is on your device. Click that. You'll see an option usually called playback speed. You click on playback speed and you speed that thing up. Some people's videos, they talk so slow, I can watch those 1.5 times. 1.5 speed. A lot of them, most of them, I watch them at 1.25. At any rate, if mine is slow for you, go ahead and speed that thing up so it's not dragging out on you and you can pay attention. Still, you especially if you get used to it. Once you get used to it, man, be honest with you, I watch movies like that a lot of times. I don't like sitting watching a movie, hour 45 minutes. Man, I'll speed that movie up 1.25. Cut almost 30 minutes off the movie. I used to. Sadly, I've probably watched one movie in the last 2-3 months. I don't watch movies that often. Maybe, 3-4 a year at best. And lately, last couple months, I don't hardly watch TV at all. I used to sleep with the TV on. Not anymore. That TV can go a week without me even powering the thing up. So things are changing. I got to adapt to the new me. So that's where I'm at. If you guys know that I'm supposed to connect with you, like I said, I'll be in Las Vegas next Monday night. I'm supposed to go to the Bay Area. I'll be in the Bay Area, likely. A lot of Southern Cal. I probably got 5 or 6 people that I'm supposed to meet with in Southern Cal. If I'm going to be in your area and you have a comfortable place for me to stay and you want to host me, we'll try to work that out. If not, I'll be in a hotel. So I have Las Vegas, the Bay Area, Southern Cal, like LA area, anything within an hour, LA, San Diego. Then I'm going over to the Phoenix area. Then I'm going to the Albuquerque area. Then I'm going possibly into Texas, if you guys still need me. So I'm going to find my notebook, contact you guys that were in the schedule, and if you hadn't already taken care of your card, some people have, I will gladly be there to help you. So that's where I'm at. I appreciate you all watching today's video. It's me taking care of this steering rack, finishing that up, and then I had to get, they set a doctor's appointment for me Friday. My heart medication expired. They wouldn't renew it without me setting an appointment. That was another thing that kind of threw a block in me heading out to Chicago for a day or two. So, I apologize, guys. Just didn't make it. So, anyway, let me get out of here and make my way to the hospital. I got to go do labs and try to tie this stuff up with Queen Bee. Get a couple other things in line because we're going to be shoving off Monday. Thanks for watching. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert. That's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Hey folks, here we are back at it. Last night, we were losing the battle to rust. So we heated these lines up a couple of times, put PB Blaster on them a couple of times, and hopefully they will break loose this morning. If not, we're going to have to drop this entire subframe. I don't think we want to damage these lines, but if we do, we got lines to replace them with, I believe. So I'm just going to confirm that with Dan before we get drastic here. Let me see if our heat and PB Blaster work. I'm going to go ahead and hit it real quick for a second and try to get these lines to turn out. They're breaking loose from the rack, but the nut is not rotating on the pipes. Well, after several attempts to get these lines off, I don't think it's happening. So I'm about to disconnect the lines from the pump here and cut the lines off of the back of this rack. I'm going to cut them off because I have lines that I could replace these things with and get this rack out of here, man. This is holding up progress. Found me a cutting tool, cut those things right off. So now I'm going to come up here and I pulled the dipstick tube out. Now I'm going to put this plastic bag over this alternator as best I can. And man, that kind of stinks. I'm going to have to take this bolt out of this bracket, I think. Take this bracket off. How many bolts does it have with it? I don't know. I got to get this alternator protected from when I disconnect these lines. I don't want this alternator getting saturated with power steering fluid. So let me work through that. There it is, folks. After a few hours of tugging, pushing, pulling, jerking, cutting, it's out. So now I need to brush this off, all that grime off of there, and put the replacement one in. Now the replacement one is missing a couple of these inserted nuts, so I'm gonna put a nut on there and tap them out of there. Put the nut on there to protect the threads. So let's go see how many of those this thing is missing. That looks like that one's there. So it's missing only one. And those things are normally broke loose when people put impacts on them. Don't put impacts on those when you remove them, or you have a mess on your hands. Like every one of these are loose, so that sucks. Every single one of them. Well, I tell you, there ain't much on this job that's easy. So I was trying to get the bolt out of this mount because this mount looks kind of crappy. A lot of rust and stuff on it. Couldn't get it out. And at best, it was twisting the mount, trying to hold it and moving the bolt. Looked like the threads are eating up a little bit, even with the impact gun. So I had to put a pipe wrench on it and then put this extended arm ratchet wrench on there, get this thing off. So now I think I'm ready. Start putting this thing on. About to route these lines back in the car. You got to make sure that those seals are not damaged. If so, go get you some more seals and make sure those threads are not damaged. And it's critical that you make sure you don't cross thread them going back in. They're a little soft, so Make sure they're cleaned up and you don't cross-thread them going in. This is the low pressure line, goes in the bottom of the rack. That's the high pressure down here, goes in the top of the rack. So check those seals, make sure they're good. Seal on this high pressure line looks a little messed up. You see that little burr coming off the seal? Need to replace that one. You do not want these leaking. I had one leaking. It's so hard to get to. Left it leaking for 7 years. I was adding about 8 ounces of fluid every 1,000 miles. Got this rack hooked up. Man, this pipe here was bent out pretty bad. I had to bend it back in. It was so hard. But I decided to heat it up and bend it. Less likely to damage it if it's heated up. So I got that bent in a decent angle so that it would go back on without stressing the line. Now I'm going to do these oil cooler lines. They're leaking. Put a block off plate. Stuff is grimy, leaking. And look what we got there. This thing is so dirty that a clip from the ECU box fell down here, stuck to the subframe of the car. Man, that's a mess. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.